Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show. Today we will be reviewing Soylent Green. I'm not giving it to you this time because I do not want to. Also because you're usually really slow.
That's right, folks. One of my all-time favorite Chuck Heston movies. Also, one of my favorite all-time sci-fi movies.
That you can never stop talking about.
That's
So I know absolutely everything about this movie when I went into it.
Yeah. And it was also Edward G. Robinson's 101st movie appearance, and it was just absolutely an epic film. You've got to catch it if you haven't seen it. This is one of those movies that will stick in your memory for decades, long after you've watched it. What'd you think of it?
Yeah. Well, it would have been if you hadn't told me absolutely everything throughout the duration of my entire life.
I didn't spoil it.
Yes, you did.
Okay, my T-shirt spoiled it. I didn't spoil it.
What do you mean? You talk about this movie every week,
No.
every month, and you used to talk about it a lot more because we'd be going to a restaurant and he'd say, this is just like Soylent Green.
So what'd you really think?
Good.
Yeah. And?
Good. Very good.
What about sad?
Well, yes.
Yes, this movie is terribly depressing and sad. I almost cried in the scene where Thorne brings home the fruits and veggies that he swiped from his job.
Yes, I saw that.
It was just so moving to think how life must be like in a world that they lived in, where everything was so rare and so hard to find and so hard to come by. The water, the food, the electricity, paper and pencils and all the things we take for granted, in our normal, lives here, at least here in the States. All the little things that you just never think twice about. And then, of course, the incredible number of extras they had to use to make this movie seem as crowded as possible. They must have used, hundreds, if not thousands, of extras just to really give that overwhelming sense of, overcrowding and pollution and crime and scarcity and all those things. This movie really, is one of those movies like Silent Running, that will really make you think about, how you live your life and what we leave for our youngsters here.
Yes.
So you're gonna become an activist after watching this movie?
Not a chance.
That's my boy. But still, we can take a lot away from this movie, and just little things. We started a garden in the backyard.
Well, a long time ago, though.
It was a couple months ago, but I knew
and
these.
He's let it not die, but he's let it be infested with weeds.
Yeah, well,
which shows a lot about him.
Yeah.
Mainly how lazy he is.
Yeah. But
it's not like I would have been much better. Well, no, I did rip out some of the weeds.
You did, yeah. Well, I have the back issue. It's hard for me to bend down to pull
Okay,
the
you could have gotten somebody else to do that.
So you're volunteering?
Yes, I am volunteering.
Okay, thank you, because I really want my tomatoes to come in this year. But for a 1970s movie, this it's also.
I don't think it's fair to say for a 1970s movie, because a movie is good whether or not it came out 50 years ago or 70 years ago.
Well, that's not really what I was going to go with. For a 70s movie, it really shows how you can, what you could do with just a limited budget and limited resources. There were really very few special effects, a lot less than Silent Running.
Well, of course they'd have to use less because it's not necessary to use less.
Right.
Silent Running takes place hundreds, maybe not thousands, like
hundreds of years from now.
Yes, hundreds of years from now.
And
this one takes place in the future year of 2022.
Yeah, it's not so future. We're literally living in the time that this movie predicted. And with the current food shortages and baby formula shortages and things like that, it really, kind of hit home for me at least, because I do most of the shopping and, seeing things that just a year ago were so readily available without question. And, it really made me think a lot about, what we're going to do in our own lives and in the upcoming future. But I can't recommend this movie highly enough. Obviously, the little guy, you know, has had this movie recommended to him since he was a little one. Even though we actually watched this movie a long time ago, but he was clearly too young to remember and absorb it like now. And are you gonna do the same thing with your kids? Gonna make them watch this movie if there are still
Well, probably not.
things like electricity?
Well, probably not as early as you did.
Well, clearly. But what, about 12, 13?
Probably.
Maybe earlier because they'll be smarter than you and make you feel like me.
Yes. Wait.
Because that's how karma works.
Yeah, no, I know exactly. I'm very aware of that.
Yeah, if only your grandparents were alive to see you, they would be laughing at me and all the hard times I gave them. But anything else you want to add about this movie before we hit the road? Oh, also Chuck Connors was in this movie. Another great favorite actor of mine. If any of you guys out there remember The Rifleman and things like that. A lot of people who were back then pretty big, and now they're no longer with us, or they're barely with us. I hope you guys will
Is that the main character?
Chuck Connors is
He's playing the main character, correct?
Charlton Heston. Chuck Connors.
Ah.
Chuck Connors was the bad guy.
Okay. Oh, because I was thinking when I was watching a certain scene that Charlton Heston, I didn't do the research, which is weird because I did the research for
Sun Running?
No, not Soylent Running, for something else, but I don't feel like
talking. The Sinbad movie?
No.
So it's not a side project.
No, not a side project. I think I talked about it after. I talked about it with you and Connell.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't do the research for this one. I will, but he seems like the guy from the funny Airplane movie, which I don't think that matches up, but if any of you know, tell me.
Okay.
Even though I'll probably look at
what Airplane movie?
I think it's just called Airplane, but I don't know.
Okay, yeah. I know who you're talking about. I can't remember his name, but no, they're not the same guys.
Okay.
But yeah. And this copy actually has a lot of extras that I actually haven't yet gotten to check out.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't get to check them out the other day. I really should.
I mean, you could have.
Yeah, I will. But
10 years ago.
Yeah, I don't think maybe I've had this movie about that long. I honestly don't remember exactly when I got it, but
I mean, it should be around 10 years ago.
And
you've had it for much longer.
Just in case you were wondering, this movie was also based on a story by Harry Harrison, which will tie into Silent Running from last week, and the book review I'm doing tomorrow, which is The Stainless Steel Rat, also by Harry Harrison. Another great sci-fi story created by a very, very prolific and interesting writer. I hope you guys will come and check that out tomorrow. I'm almost done with the first book in the trilogy that I have, and it's a great read, and I hope you guys will be here tomorrow for it. And as always, I hope you guys will check out this movie. Make sure you really get a nice quiet time to watch it and catch all the little details, because there's some lines in it that are pretty profound, and some little side things that you might not notice.
I will definitely be watching this movie again for two main reasons. One, because it was really good. Two, because I'd like to actually be able to watch the movie without having a narration.
Oh, it wasn't that bad.
Yes, but okay. It was
there were
noticeable.
There were a few times I had to explain a couple things, or at least I thought I had to, but I guess I was wrong, because the boy genius over here knows.
Okay,
everything.
then no, that's wrong. That's factually inaccurate. Objectively speaking.
Genius, or?
Yes, that's factually inaccurate.
He's a pretty smart kid. Don't let him fool you. His humbleness is only preceded by his intellect. But there you have it, folks. Fantastic movie. One of the all-time great sci-fi movies. I hope you guys will, hit that thumbs up button for us. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Because I haven't said that in about 6 months.
And next time we're going to be watching a movie that, unlike this one, probably means nothing. I'm kidding, but that's how it would be if it was up to me. Good night.
The next movie review is actually Rollerball, in case you guys are wondering.
Yes, it is.
So I'll give you a little fair warning.
But I do believe... No, that's next. That's not on this show. Yeah. That may not... They may never happen, but if it does... I don't know.
Yeah, we'll talk about that maybe Friday.
Yes, we will.
Or...
Sunday.
Thursday. Yeah, well, we'll tell them what the movie for Connell show is Thursday.
Well, that's not guaranteed yet. Anyways.
Yeah, it is. The 3-hour movie?
Oh, no, something else.
Oh, okay. Well, there you have it, folks. Thanks for, putting up with our shenanigans again. Have a great week. Enjoy your summer, and we love you guys. We will see you guys real soon.
Good night. God bless.
Bye, everybody.